Hey, so you sent over this fascinating interview with Varun Maya. It's from the Bad Decisions podcast.
hmm
And it got me thinking about, this whole idea of using AI for video creation. I mean, is it really possible to make great videos, like really high quality videos in just 15 minutes?
Well, Varun seems to think so. He's a builder, founder, content creator,
Right.
and he's putting out, get this, over 1,000 videos a month.
A month.
Yeah, across different platforms, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. And he's getting millions of views.
That's insane.
It is. And the thing is, it's not just about the volume, you know, it's that he's figured out this strategy for consistency. He actually calls himself an inconsistent content creator.
Huh.
But he realized that, more than just having like a viral hit here and there, consistency is key for building a following.
Yeah, makes sense. So, spill the beans. What's his secret weapon? How is he churning out all these videos?
AI, plain and simple. He's built this whole AI-powered workflow using different tools for every step of the process.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so for starters, he uses this tool called Hayne to create a lifelike AI avatar of himself. But the really cool part is how he does the voice cloning.
Voice cloning. That sounds pretty sci-fi.
It is, but it's becoming more and more common. He uses 11 labs for AI voice cloning and text-to-speech, but to make sure the AI voice can pronounce everything perfectly, he's got this trick.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the trick?
He uses ChatGPT, that AI chatbot everyone's talking about?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
So he feeds it a massive list of words, has it predict the pronunciation for each one, and then uses that to fine-tune his 11 labs voice model.
Wow, that's really clever.
Right, it's like giving his AI voice a crash course in pronunciation.
So he's got the voice, the avatar. What about the script? Surely he's not writing all those himself.
You guessed it, AI comes to the rescue again. He uses ChatGPT and Claude, both of these powerful language models, to generate scripts from bullet points.
From bullet points.
Yeah, like he'll take a news story or a topic, jot down the key points and his own insights, then feeds it all into the AI. It spits out a fully fleshed out script.
So he's basically automated the writing process. What about the visuals? Can't have a video without visuals,
Well,
right?
of course not. And guess what? AI for that too.
No way.
He uses Flux and Runway, which are tools for creating photorealistic images, even turning them into video B-roll.
So I'm imagining him just conjuring up images of himself, like hanging out with celebrities or something.
Haha. He could, actually. He trained an AI model using his own photos so he can prompt it to create images of himself doing pretty much anything.
That is both awesome and slightly terrifying, but think of the possibilities.
Right. And the thing is, it's all integrated so seamlessly into his workflow. It starts with him picking a news event or a topic. Then he adds his own thoughts and insights, bullet points, all that. And then, boom, AI takes over. Generates the script, 11 Labs does the audio, Hayne for the avatar delivery.
Yep.
And then finally, his team of editors add in the B-roll, music, visual effects, the whole shebang.
So a well-oiled content machine.
It really is. And get this, the whole process can take as little as 15 minutes for breaking news.
You're kidding, right? 15 minutes to make a whole video? That's crazy.
That's the power of AI. But okay, here's the big question. How does he scale this up? He's got 8 different YouTube channels,
Right.
putting out over 1,000 videos a month. How does he do it?
It sounds impossible.
Well, remember, he's not doing this all alone. He's got a team of skilled editors. A lot of them actually come from his wife's video editing school.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a family business, but powered by AI.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just his own channels. He works with clients, too, some big companies.
I bet.
By leveraging the AI in his team, he's figured out how to create really high-quality content at an incredible scale.
I can see why he's getting millions of views. But is it all short-form content, or is he branching out?
That's a good question. Most of it is short form, but he started experimenting with longer videos, more CGI-heavy stuff.
Like what?
He actually mentioned this recent video about the video game character Wukong, almost entirely AI-generated,
Wait, the whole thing?
except for 7 seconds.
7 seconds out of a whole video. How?
Yeah, it was like an accident, a repeated frame or something in the AI footage.
No way, I've got to see this. But, okay, if AI is already at the point where it can make videos that are almost indistinguishable from human-created content, what does that mean for editors, for the future of editing?
It's a question that Varun's been thinking about a lot. He thinks that AI will eventually make footage generation so easy you'll be able to create realistic videos just by typing in text prompts.
Like, just describe what you want and the AI makes it.
Basically.
Uh,
Sounds like something out of a movie, right?
It does. So are editors going to be out of a job then?
Not necessarily. Varun thinks the role of the editor will evolve. Instead of manually putting footage together, it'll be more about creative direction. Making sure the narrative flows, finessing the overall feel.
So less about the technical execution, more about the artistic vision.
Exactly, like being the director of an AI-powered film crew.
That's a cool way to think about it. But with all this talk about AI taking over these creative tasks, I have to ask, what about the ethical side of things? What are Varun's thoughts on that?
Well, he believes in using AI ethically, you know,
Mhm.
responsibly. He sees it as a tool, a really powerful tool,
Hmm.
but it's still a tool, right?
Yeah.
Needs human oversight, guidance. He wouldn't use it to like deep fake somebody without their consent, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he's not just blindly embracing the tech, he's actually thinking about the impact, the ethical implications.
Exactly. And he's really interested in human psychology, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh, how so?
Well, he argues that a lot of what drives us, like why we want certain things or even the content we consume, it all comes back to this need to belong, to fit in, to achieve some sort of social status.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So, like, social media is playing on those deep-seated desires, insecurities even.
He actually compares social media to like a bottle that captures things everyone wants but doesn't have. I thought that was a really interesting way to put it.
It is. So, is he saying that he's using that knowledge of human psychology to, like, manipulate people with his content?
No, not manipulate. More like he understands what resonates with people, what makes them tick, what makes them come back for more. He's not just throwing stuff out there randomly. He's got a strategy.
So, how did he learn all this about human psychology?
Well, experience for sure,
Yeah.
but he also reads a ton.
Like, what kind of stuff?
Books about organizational culture, leadership, history, that sort of thing. He mentioned Inside Apple specifically.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
And From Third World to First, he says these books give him insights into how people make decisions, how they build complex systems.
I mean, like, it's not just about the technical skills, it's about understanding the underlying principles, like human behavior, motivation.
Exactly. It's about wisdom,
Yeah.
right? And he applies it to everything, not just his content, but his leadership style, how he builds his team.
Okay, I'm curious about that. I mean, he seems like he's always pushing boundaries, challenging the status quo. How does that translate into his leadership?
So he talks about how like 90% of his job now isn't actually coding or making content himself. It's what he calls enabling new hackers.
Enabling new hackers. What does that even mean?
It means creating the right environment for his team to thrive, to experiment, take ownership. He's gone from being a builder to more like an architect, designing the systems and structures, letting others create and innovate.
That's an interesting way to think about it. So it's not about micromanaging, it's about empowering his team, giving them the space to succeed.
And that requires a deep understanding of human psychology, right? Like how to motivate people, foster collaboration, build a culture that's okay with failure.
Yeah, embracing failure, that's a big one.
He talks about setting clear expectations, having a reward system, recognizing that failure is part of the process, especially when you're trying new things.
Makes sense. Building that growth mindset, not just to himself, but his whole team.
Yeah, and it applies to his own life too. Like he's had to unlearn a lot of his preconceived notions about success, happiness, letting go of that get-rich-quick mentality that you see so much online.
Oh, I know that feeling. It's hard to escape that sometimes with social media and everything.
He's all about finding fulfillment in the work itself, making sure it's meaningful, challenging, something he can learn and grow from. And he's really embraced his own way of working. He's got that unconventional schedule.
Oh, you mean working through the night?
Yeah, the vampire schedule, he calls it. He
Hmm.
says he's more focused, more creative during those hours.
I feel that. I'm definitely a night owl myself. It's a good reminder that there's no one right way to be productive.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you. And his approach to business is kind of unconventional too. He's very clear about the difference between like value creation and value capture.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you break that down for me?
So he was saying that with some of his earlier ventures, they were focused on building really innovative products,
Okay.
but they struggled to actually monetize them. Like they were creating value, but not capturing it. This time it's different.
How so?
He's much more focused on existing solutions, and finding creative ways to leverage them to both create and capture value.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. So he's constantly experimenting with new AI tools, services, looking for opportunities to streamline his workflow, automate things, deliver more value to his clients.
But also make sure the business is profitable, right?
Exactly. So it's a more agile approach, always adapting.
Like riding the wave of innovation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got that deep understanding of tech combined with this like business savvy that allows him to see opportunities that other people might miss.
It's like he's figured out how to not just create great content, but also build a successful business around it. Does he share any tips for, like, staying ahead of the curve?
Well, he talks about using his multiple YouTube channels as testing grounds. You know, they'll put something out, see how the audience responds, and then make adjustments.
So it's like having a built-in focus group.
Right. And he's not just going on gut feeling. He's got tools to help him make data-driven decisions.
Like what?
He actually built an internal tool called Alpha CTR, helps them optimize the thumbnails for their videos.
Oh, wow. I've heard thumbnails are super important on YouTube.
Yeah, it can make a big difference. And it's not just about short-term gains. He's got this long-term vision, wants to build a company that really pushes the boundaries of AI.
What kind of boundary?
He's talking about creating content that's not just informative, but visually stunning, emotionally engaging. He's really into those longer, more ambitious videos, CGI-heavy stuff. Wants to explore, like, philosophy, the future of tech, even consciousness.
Wow, so like the next generation of documentaries, but AI-powered.
Exactly. And he's not just talking about it. He's actually working towards it. Assembling the team, the tools, the resources.
That's impressive. It makes you wonder what's driving him. What's the motivation behind all of this?
I think it's a genuine desire to, like, push the limits of creativity innovation. He sees AI as more than just a tool for efficiency. It's a way to unlock new levels of storytelling, artistic expression, tell stories that wouldn't have been possible before.
That's pretty inspiring. And you know what else I noticed? He doesn't seem arrogant about it at all.
Right. He's very humble, very aware of his own limitations, always willing to admit when he doesn't know something.
That's refreshing.
He talks about surrounding himself with talented people who challenge him, help him grow, building a culture of collaboration, continuous learning.
He even mentioned getting ideas and insights from like Twitter, Reddit, other YouTube channels.
He's always absorbing information, believes that the best insights are often hidden in plain sight,
In the comments section, maybe.
Maybe. Like, he's built this massive knowledge network, constantly feeding his curiosity.
I like that. A hive mind for creativity.
And he encourages everyone to do the same. Be curious, ask questions, be open to learning from anyone.
I think that's a great takeaway.
It is. Never stop learning.
So, any other big lessons from Varun's journey? What can our listeners take away from all of this?
I think don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to learn. Varun's success shows what can happen when you combine technical skills with this understanding of human psychology.
And a willingness to push those boundaries.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe our listeners will be inspired to try out those AI tools he uses.
Yeah. Hayne, 11 Labs, Flux, Runway. The future of content creation is wide open, right?
It really is.
Well, this deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about. I might have to listen to that interview again just to let it all sink in.
It's a good one.
Thanks for going down this rabbit hole with me. And thanks to you out there for sending in this awesome source material. Keep them coming.
Absolutely. Always happy to dive into these fascinating stories. Until next time.